What is up, YouTube? It's me, John Avenger, once again. There we go. Uh, I know it's been a couple days. I'm doing my next Christmas classics. This is number 3. This is a sequel I just saw again recently, and I still love to this day. I saw this in the theater back in 1992. It's a funny comedy. I love this more than the first one, but I still love the first one, and I keep it in high regard. And that is Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. Yeah, I love this sequel. I saw this when I was a kid. I still love it as an adult. It's still very funny. I think it's underrated because some people think that, oh, the first one is the only good one. I think the second one is just as good, if not better, than this first one. I love the New York location. I love Kevin, the new traps that he creates, that they're much funnier, more deadly than the first film. It's longer than the first movie. I think that even with the pacing, the pacing is actually pretty fast. It felt like it flowed a little faster than the first film. In the first film, there were some scenes I think that were a little bit padded out, but this one, it's 2 hours. I didn't feel it at all, and I think that this movie is really really great. I wish this movie had a commentary on it or a documentary because this DVD is bare bones, while the first film has a bunch of features. I think that this movie just gets crapped on. It doesn't deserve it. It was the second highest grossing movie of 1992, behind Disney's Aladdin, which I'm going to see on Broadway next week. This movie's awesome. I love Aladdin. It's one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. But I love this film too. I saw it in the theater when I was 7 years old. It was a great experience. It still makes me laugh. It's better than any comedies that sequels that have come out in the last 10 years, like Grown Ups 2 and Horrible Bosses 2 and freaking Hangover 2 and Hangover 3. This got the formula right. It didn't directly copy the first film. It has a lot of nods to the first film, but it lives up to the hype. I think it was a worthy sequel. After 2, it just got worse. I mean, 3, John Hughes wrote it, but it was a terrible script, and the story was just not there. And the only good thing was the traps. The fourth one was so bad it was thrown on television in the 2000s, and people forgot about it. 5, I actually don't mind it because it's a standalone film. It's the black sheep of the series, and it didn't copy the first 2 films. And also, they didn't have a kid named Kevin. It was a different kid. It was the Canadian Home Alone film, if you will. So I liked it for what it was. This is the best sequel, though. Out of all the Home Alone official sequels, this is the best one. And I will see this any Christmas that I want to because I love this movie. It's funny, it's charming, it still has the heart of the first film. And while the first film felt, it was a nice change of pace from John Hughes' other films that he either wrote or directed, it's still a welcome surprise, and I love this movie to this very day. And I always will. There. So that's my Christmas classics number 3. Stay tuned for number 4. I'm gonna do it right away. So see you in a little bit.